Hi, I'm Sarah Rose, the Assistant Lifestyle Editor,
And I'm Bryn Krug, the Chief Copy Editor.
and welcome back to The Trend, a Northern Star pop culture podcast.
Each week, we'll be talking about what's trending on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and everything in between.
We are going to be ranking a few topics, beginning with what we think is in and what we think is out. Let's get cracking. So the first one, I'll talk about this because I'm really excited, and this just dropped like 2 days ago, so it's very new. But Star Wars announced that we are going to be getting a little short, I think they call them anthology series called Tales of the Empire, which is it's basically like a season 2 because right now Star Wars has a short series called Tales of the Jedi, which premiered in 2022, and it follows Jedi Ahsoka and Count Dooku. And are you a Star Wars fan?
Mildly. I've watched the original 6,
Okay.
and then I think 2 of the newer ones.
Okay.
And I watched a little bit of The Mandalorian. So I know the premise. I know the basic lore.
premise. Okay, that's
but
good.
I'm not caught up with like all the I haven't watched like any of the animated series, and I'm not totally caught up with all the new stuff.
Yeah. I have watched all 9 movies, the sequels, prequels, and the OG. I've watched Rogue One. I've seen all the live action shows. And right now, I'm working through Clone Wars, which is 7 seasons. I'm on season 2. And then I have to watch Bad Batch, which is 2 seasons. Second season just ended. And then Rebels. Because to better understand Ahsoka and Obi-Wan and literally every live action Star Wars show that I've seen, you have to watch the animated series. There's so much lore in it. So I'm working through that, and it's so good. I haven't seen Tales of the Jedi. I need to watch that, but I have so many shows I need to get through.
Yeah.
But they're good.
Star Wars is an interesting series to me because I feel like usually with like franchises like that, they're based off something written. Like, so it's weird that it's not. Like, when, people are really into Marvel, they talk about like, oh, this was in the comics. And Star Wars to me totally feels like it should have some base like that. So it's interesting to be like, oh, if you want to do this, you have to watch this show. Like, it's all visual. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Star Wars is different. Now, when George Lucas was in his prime in the 90s and 80s, there were books that went along that expanded on the lore. And so most of these series that are now coming out are off the books that were made like 20 years ago. But like, no one really reads those.
Yeah, but that's interesting because I was also thinking like, with all these new shows and movies, I'm like, is this how do they relate to like George Lucas's original idea for the universe?
Yeah, George Lucas still lives within all of these creations that have come out in the past couple of years. But this Star Wars Tales of the Empire trailer dropped. It's a 6-episode series coming out May 4th. I think they're going to do episode weekly. That just makes sense. It's animated just like Tales of the Jedi was. And it follows the premise is like 2 warriors on different paths. They'll go through trials and tribulations to find out their destiny. But it follows basically the Inquisitors, and the Inquisitors are ex-Jedi who now hunt and exterminate Jedi after Order 66 was called, and they work under the Grand Inquisitor, who is directly under Darth Vader. And in the trailer, you hear Darth Vader's iconic breathing. So he does make appearances, and it's awesome. If you had to choose light side or dark side, which would you go for?
Oh, like, in what's my favorite in the franchise, or like what I would actually do, like if I lived in the universe?
Oh, no. Like favorite in the franchise.
I feel like, I don't know, I would just say maybe dark side. I'm not super into like any of the characters, but I love like I love Anakin in like the prequels.
Yes.
So I'd say like I like Anakin, and then when I was younger and watching the series, I would always say that Boba Fett was my favorite. Don't like quiz me on any Boba Fett lore, because I know none of it, but I was like, oh, Boba Fett's cool. So I'm a Boba Fett and Anakin fan.
Dude, you know Kylo Ren?
Yeah.
Dude,
You love Kylo
I
Ren.
love Kylo Ren. I have so many edits on my Instagram of him. I love that man. I would go to the dark side for him and Annie. But, yeah, I'm definitely dark side too. But yeah, I'm very excited. I've been in like I've always loved Star Wars, but I've recently been in a Star Wars phase for like the past 2 years because I've fallen off of Marvel. I used to be obsessed with Marvel. I still love it, but I'm like more into Star Wars. So I'm very excited. And this is huge. Morgan Elsbeth is one of the Jedis the show follows, and she is in Clone Wars. I just haven't met her yet. So everything's connected, y'all.
Oh, what would you say you're most excited about with the release of the series?
Ooh, I love, so my like favorite eras in Star Wars are like the Rebellion era where we're just starting out. Like Andor, best live action Star Wars TV show ever. Probably the best TV show Star Wars has put out. Andor, yes.
When did that come out? I've never even heard of it.
It came out in the spring of like 2022 or like fall 2022.
Yeah, I've never heard of this at all. That's crazy.
Have you seen Rogue One?
Oh, actually, I think I did.
So Rogue One,
I'm pretty sure I saw it in
is
theaters.
like dude, if you did, I'm jealous. It came out in like 2016, but Rogue One is like a standalone, but it follows Cassian and Jen. It follows Cassian and Jen, and Rogue One, it takes place right before A New Hope. Like, you know the scene in A New Hope where Leia is like
That's
feeding,
episode 4, right?
Yeah, where she's feeding the video thing into R2-D2 and she's like, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Rogue One ends right before that.
Oh.
And she actually makes an appearance. It's like kind of bad CGI because this came out in 2016 and the actress for Leia was very old. But like she makes an appearance at the end. But Rogue One follows the story of how Cassian and Jen and their team, which they named Rogue One, got the Death Star like plans of how to destroy them. So if it wasn't for them, they like the rebellion would not have been able to destroy the Death Star.
Yeah.
Because it was them that orchestrated it. It's so cool. I love Rogue One. It's one of the best movies. But what I was going to say is Rogue One, Andor, and like into the nitty-gritty of the rebellion. I love that era. And I love going into the Empire because we don't really see a lot of it. So I like the dark side, and we're going to explore that, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, that sounds good. Do they have a release date?
May 4th on Disney+.
Oh, of course.
I assume they're going to do it weekly. Like episodes weekly. There's only 6. So, very exciting.
Yeah, that sounds fun. All right. Our next topic. I feel like I've not seen a lot of pop culture content within the last couple days because my entire For You page has been flooded with something called the TikTok Riz Party, which is very chronically online, very brain rot. But essentially, there was a while ago, someone took a picture of a flyer for some event that was labeled a TikTok Riz Party. And then, like, a while later, this video came out. It was at this girl's 16th birthday party. So this girl has this, like, huge Sweet 16, and, like, at the Sweet 16 has, like, a video person. So it was, like, going around, like, recording the guests. I guess just for, like, a fun keepsake memory.
Yeah.
But this one video, like, from that footage went viral of this group of boys singing Carnival by Kanye West.
Yeah.
And then at that video, everyone was like, oh, this is the TikTok Riz Party. Because, like, Carnival's such a big song on TikTok.
Yes.
So then people were referring to the footage from that event, like, or that event as a whole, as the TikTok Riz Party. Even though, like, that's not what it was. It was just
so
a random
funny.
birthday party. But it's, like, blown up and, like, they're, like, characters. Like, there's, like, this, it's just a group of boys and but every, like, character has a name. Like, there's the main guy, he's like wearing a blue tie, so people call him Blue Tie, and he's the group leader. So it's like everyone's like, oh, he's the group leader. This other guy who they call like white shirt guy, they're like, oh, he's second in command. And people have like created like so much lore with it. So like people like ship different characters, like make up all these stuff. There's like analysis videos where it's like an AI voice being like, TikTok Riz Party analysis. Look at this person's movements. And it's like this whole thing. Every like I have this screen recording that like I sent to my friends where I'm like scrolling through my For You page, and every single video was an edit of like this footage, and some of the edits even would like have the same song over and over. And it's funny because it's not like it's just like an edit, it's like emotional. Like when I saw the videos, I saw them to Mitski songs. There's a lot of Mitski, Fiona Apple, Elliott Smith, which is like more like indie artists.
Yeah.
Who is like so it's like the fact that it's like pairing this genre of music with like this. Like there's one video like people like put songs over it like, oh, they're listening to this song, and it's like Andromeda by Waze Blood, which is like again like an emotional indie song. So like the juxtaposition of it is so funny. But it's like my entire For You page is just edits of these guys, and like they're actually characters at this point, and everyone's like, oh, TikTok Riz Party lore, which is funny because it's like these boys literally, they went to a Sweet 16 party and now they're famous. Like,
that's crazy.
And imagine it, like people like ship some of the I say characters. They're
I was
people.
about to say characters.
People like ship some of them too, and I'm like, imagine not only going viral but being like, oh, this is my best friend since I've known, like, since I was a kid, and like people are shipping you because like also they're like 16, so it's kind of weird, but it's so funny. And like the group leader, he like has a TikTok, and so I've seen his videos. His real name is like Sebi.
Yeah.
So it's like he has like made videos talking about it, and he's like leaning into the joke. So I think he enjoys it, which I totally understand. If I was 16 and went viral and everyone thought I was funny,
so buy into it.
But it also depends on like who you are. Like I would rather be the group leader than be like, oh, white shirt guy. But yeah, so it's happened to my friends too, where it's like every single video on your For You page is just different edits. It's like ship edits and lore, which is like none of it, if you think about it, like none of it is real. Like we were just talking about the Star Wars lore. That makes sense. Those are real characters, but everyone is just like creating this event and then like creating these characters. And so it's just such an odd thing, but it's also so funny. Like
it is.
But then I do feel like it's a very chronically online thing. And like I said, it's like brain rot, like the like keywords of like, oh, Riz, group leader, like alpha, like all the gross TikTok stuff. But yeah, so it's kind of weird that it's just happened. Also, I feel like some friends, I'm like, they know what I'm talking about, and they have seen like hundreds of videos. And then if I mention it to someone else, they will be like, what is that? I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, when I get my phone back, watch it pop up on mine. But I have seen one video, and I, like, watched 10 seconds of it, and then I scrolled. But it was an edit, and it was, like, which Riz party was the best. And it was, like, boys party, girls party. And it looked like it was from the same party because the lighting and, like, the backgrounds was the same.
Yeah, it's like within the footage, there's like different groups. So it's like there's that main group of guys that like everyone references, but it's like other people were there. And I wonder how this even I don't even know like who originally uploaded it.
Yeah, that's something to wonder about too. Good for them.
Yeah, one thing that I think is kind of interesting to think about is the girl whose birthday party it was. Like imagine you have a big like it was a big Sweet 16. Like they had like a venue. My Sweet 16, it was me and 5 friends. It was a birthday party.
Same.
But like to have that big of a Sweet 16 and then have it go viral, and like no one knows who she is. Like no one's talking about the girl whose party it was. It's like, imagine you host this party and then just some guys that you invited to your party go viral. Like, that's such a weird thing.
And people are like calling it your party a Riz party and not a birthday party.
Yeah, I'm glad that it at least seems like the guys in the video like think it's funny and are interacting with the content. Because we've talked about Mason Ramsey before and him going viral, but it's like he was the yodeling Walmart kid. He went viral for something that he loves to do and something that he wants to make his career. And it's like they went viral for like actually doing nothing. So it's like I would totally see if like they didn't want to accept it and like yeah. But
it's so funny to think about things that would like go on Ellen if she was still on. Because Mason Ramsey reminded me of Ellen because that's how he blew up again.
That would be so funny if all the guys in the video and the girl whose birthday party it was are on Ellen.
It would happen if she was still around. I bet you.
We need a new Ellen.
Oh, dear God. Maybe someday. Maybe you could be it, Bryn.
The new Ellen. Yeah, guys, I'm going to be hosting a talk show. Make sure you tune in.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. Yeah. I'm going to update you, Bryn, on if the videos start showing up.
Yeah, and I can send you some too. I'm sure that'll make them pop up too.
Yes, please. But I want to see if it's made it to Instagram because I can go on Instagram on my computer. I feel like
in a few days it is going to be completely dead though because the trend is so not this podcast the trend of this. It's so oversaturated that it's like people are going to immediately get sick of it. Yep. And that's the same thing that happened with the song Carnival. Like, that's such a good song. Yeah. But it's just so oversaturated and all over the For You page. But yeah, the video originally blew up because it was the song Carnival and they're like dancing to it and everyone was like, oh, this is cringy. Like, this is the song, like, everyone's like a bunch of high school boys singing it at a dance.
Yeah, I remember when Carnival came out, everyone used Cardi's verse as the clip it for edits. And I used to play Carnival so much when Kanye dropped. And now I don't.
Yeah.
It's still a good song.
I would listen to it like multiple times a day. And I'm like,
same.
I can't listen to it anymore.
No,
like,
I can't.
It's too well known.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's kind of a weird and niche topic, but our next one's a little more normal. So they're going to be making a live action Tangled. And I don't believe that any of the cast is 100% confirmed.
No.
But there has been a lot of speculation about, who is in talks to play these characters and people, giving their inputs on the casting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know about this one because I've seen like creators react to this speculation, but Milo Manheim, who is like pretty well known. I know him from Dancing with the Stars.
Oh.
I know him from Zombies.
Yeah, there's a Disney Channel series called Zombies. It's not a great series.
It's so bad, but as a kid, I like vibed with
But it's fun, but he's a fun guy, so he got famous through that.
And then I forget what else he's been in. I just know him because
he was in last December. He was in this movie called Journey to Bethlehem, which is like Joseph, Mary, baby Jesus story. Yeah. And he played Joseph, but it's a musical. And there's this one song that he sang that blew up. So I think, I don't know how many people actually watched this movie. I didn't, but at least the song kind of, like, blew up on TikTok.
Yeah. So it's him and then an actress called Avantika Starring. I probably butchered that name. I'm sorry. But I don't know her.
Yeah, the only thing that I have seen her in is she was Karen in the Mean Girls musical. Like
really?
The movie of the Mean Girls musical.
Yeah, the one that came out in January.
So she is in talks to play Rapunzel in the Tangled live action.
That's good.
So, but people have been saying whether or not they think she's good. I feel like I can't really speak on her acting because I've only seen her play Karen, and I did not enjoy that movie when I saw it.
Yeah, that movie had a really bad script.
Yeah, I think it is the general consensus that it is not a great movie.
No.
And also the character of Karen, she's, if you've seen Mean Girls, she's just very, very dumb. Like, that's her whole character.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's all I've ever gotten to see her play. But she did have like I don't know, the kind of like friendliness and charm that I feel like Rapunzel has. So I feel like she could play the role well. But I'm like, I haven't seen her act enough to like know if she would really embody a character.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think she could do it.
Yeah, my dream cast for Flynn and Rapunzel, I'm biased because I love Bridgerton. I'm obsessed with season 2. Tell me you've seen Bridgerton.
I have
You
not.
would love that show, Bryn.
Maybe I'll get around to it. I think I've seen like one episode, maybe. I don't know.
Dude, you need to watch it. Season 2 is the best. Everyone does this.
Mm-hmm.
But Simone, Ashley, and Jonathan Bailey play Kate and Anthony, and they're my favorite couple ever. This is how I know, and this is how people know when I'm obsessed with like characters, is when I make a Pinterest board, and you bet they have a Pinterest board on my Pinterest. I love them so much. I love Simone Ashley. I think she would be great as Rapunzel. The only thing is that Simone Ashley and Jonathan Bailey are both in their 30s. Or she's 29, and Jonathan Bailey, I think, is like 35. So they need to be... To do Tangled right, they need to not pull a Netflix and actually cast characters who are like in their 20s. Mm-hmm. Because when Rapunzel's 18, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole thing, like my 18th birthday. So I think the Avantika... How old is she? She was born in 2005.
She's 19.
Dang.
Wait. We're older than her?
We're older than her.
Dude, what?
I mean, hey, that's perfect.
No, it's so weird reaching that stage of adolescence or young adulthood when it's like you start to be older than celebrities, because growing up it's like everyone's older than you. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know she was so young.
Oh my goodness.
I think she could do a good job. Other candidates that people have discussed for Tangled,
I just know Sabrina Carpenter and Florence Pugh.
Yeah, people have brought up Sabrina Carpenter, Florence Pugh, and then Meg Donnelly, who plays Addison in Zombies. So her and Milo Manheim have already acted opposite each other as love interests. So then if Milo Manheim played Flynn, it would kind of be a reference to that and could be good. But I don't think Florence Pugh would make a good Rapunzel. I'm a huge Florence Pugh fan. I love her. I also think she is slightly too old. She's not old in general, but to be playing an 18-year-old.
Yeah, I don't see her in that role,
I mean, she did play a 13-year-old in Little Women, but that's different with that story. But I would consider myself a Milo Manheim fan. I like a TikTok edit of him when I see it.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't know if he would be a perfect Flynn. Just because I feel like he's a little too goofy. Where I'm like, I don't feel like it perfectly embodies the character.
Yeah.
So, like, I think he's a decent actor. Again, I've only seen him in Zombies, so it's not like I've seen him in something that's, challenging. But I think he did a decent job at that. I think he's cool as a person, but I don't know if I can see him perfectly as Flynn. But I don't know. I feel like this would be an interesting live action.
This is, and honestly, they might go with actors who we don't know, which is great. Like, someone could beat out all these A-list, B-list actors that are auditioning.
Yeah, that's one thing about, like, fan casts that I notice where I'm like, it's always people we know. And, like, if you think about, like, Stranger Things, how, like, when Stranger Things started, well, I mean, obviously people knew Winona Ryder, but like all of the child actors in it, like that was their start. And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And it definitely like helps a franchise kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you might just see the actor. Like I know people had that issue with like Dune 2 where it's like, oh, that's Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Anya Taylor-Joy, Florence Pugh.
Austin
like,
Butler, yeah.
Like, yeah, they're reputable people, which definitely adds to the hype of a movie when you have those A-list celebrities, but it's sometimes hard to be able to see the character. I was going to say, I don't think I would want Meg Donnelly to be Rapunzel, not because I don't think she's capable. Like, I do think from seeing her in Zombies, like, I think she could play the character well, but I would hate for it to, like, just feel like a reference to a Disney Channel movie. Like, it should be its own thing.
I agree. I don't know who I would want.
Yeah. So maybe we'll visit this topic again when it's confirmed, but they both seem like decent picks, but I guess we'll kind of have to see how it pans out.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you remember when the Little Mermaid live action came out, literally everyone was talking about it and talking about, like, oh, is Harry Styles going to be Prince Eric?
Oh, my God.
And he was not. But I'm like, I don't even know who played Prince Eric. Like, so I'm like...
Oh, yeah. I don't think he was super famous before that.
Yeah, so it's like, it could totally happen again where it's like, with productions like this, you cannot count on an internet fan cast to correctly, like, portray who is actually going to get cast.
Yeah.
So who knows who it's going to be, but we'll have to see. All right. This is only 3 topics this week, but...
A little short.
Yeah, not too much going on in the media, but do you want to get into ranking them?
Yes, I would love to. Starting, I honestly think we can do what's out, because I think this is kind of easy if we're on the same page about it. It's the Riz Party.
You think it's out?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to disagree.
Oh!
I love seeing the videos. I think they're so funny. I think it will be out in 3 days' time.
That's true.
But I've enjoyed the content I've seen of it. So I think I'm going to say in because I think it's funny. But can we say in but at third?
Yeah, we can do that.
Because I think it's funny, but again, it's just an oversaturated TikTok trend. Then I'd say second. Live action Tangled.
Live action Tangled. I want to wait till things are confirmed.
Yeah, I'd say it's in. It's fun to speculate about the cast.
I love to do it.
Casting, the candidates so far are decent, but we don't know if that's gonna pan out. But yeah, Avantika, I think she could do it. Like
she could.
Some people have been saying like she doesn't seem like she fits it. I think she could. Like if she is cast in the role, I would be very interested to see how her portrayal goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then at 1, we have...
Tales of the Empire. Let's go.
Yeah, I feel like also in, because it's just a new release. That's an overtly positive thing.
Yeah, and Tales of the Jedi did very, very good. So
yeah, so I'm excited.
Tales of the Empire will do the same.
I probably won't watch it, but I know you will.
I'll update you.
I hope it's it holds up to the fans' standards.
I hope so too.
All right, well, that concludes episode 8 of The Trend. Thank you for listening or watching if you're tuning in on YouTube, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye. Bye.